Hey everyone, hope you're having a great day. I've got another 60 Grassy commentary for you guys, this time versus GOE, God of Elementals. This is also Harpocrates, one of my longtime friends on here, and a great 60Ger, and he is actually on his way to Archmage, trying to get that fated accolade, the very prestigious title, and so we will see if he can make it before the rate split coming in, I don't know, a month or so, give or take. So let's get it started. This is a really, really fun back and forth game, so I hope you guys enjoy. So we're going to start here with Harp getting first turn. He's going to go with the basic flash. And I'm going to teleport in. This seems like a safe spot. I know that he could, get a spirit out. Maybe he protection shields. That's a common turn 2 move. So here I'm just going to shock shield. Another move would be to storm spirit. That would allow him to shock shield it back, and then I'd be down 2 moves with no minions. So instead of doing that, I decide to go for the shock shield and play the long game. And here I'm actually feeling okay. I get it, okay, I've lost top control, which is not good, but I am going to be able to make my own little hidey hole down here, and I've got a swarm out, so we're pretty much tied. I just don't have a protection shield up. He does bring the swarm out, and I think, I should probably at least try for some top control, get that flash out, but I'm still doing okay here. He brings out the Pegasus, the Ice Shield, to prevent me from BFTPing out. It's a really common play that you guys can use in your own 60G games. Basically, you think about like how many layers of BFTP you need to use. I would have to BFTP that Ice Shield and BFTP the tree there to make any sort of like fight for map control and get top control back. You can only use one BFTP in a turn, so I could only use it to get that Ice Shield there. So he knows that, so that's why he brought the Ice Shield out. And now we're fairly even. I mean, I'm a minion down, but that minion's not too threatening. I have to be cognizant of him bringing out DK, obviously, right? I want to try to squeeze my swarm up here. Why do I want to? I don't know, I guess I'm concerned, maybe in a couple turns he's going to trap it again. And if it's over on the right, it's much more difficult to escape from the trap if he does tree it. And if he does decide to tree somehow when the swarm's up there, he will be hindering his ability to get to me. And he does want to eventually get to me, right? Because he's got top control. So once he gets a couple of undead Pegasus or whatever. So here, this is actually good for me, I think. Or not completely losing, right? He kind of adds a little bit of land between me and him. And also the swarm isn't really trapped, I can just flash it out. So I still have a swarm up, he does get a Pegasus out, right? But I know that that swarm's going to die next turn. So really I'm only down a Pegasus. Yes, it's undead. I don't remember if I have Ray this game, but that would be awesome and pretty much equalize the game. But we will see. But I'm feeling okay. Still able to kind of stall pretty well. Again, that Pegasus is just going to serve to really close the gap between him and me. He will have some trouble getting to me, even with Pebbles, which I know are coming probably soon. I know that he likes to run Pebbles. So here, my plan is to just make more space, maybe dig out to the right side, and create a pathway for me to go if he decides to pebble down, and I have a little bit more space to work with then. He's going to continue to make his undead Pegasi, right? And that's not really something I can prevent if I don't have Ray. Of course, in a turn, Ray would be epic here because I would be able to kill both of his Pegasus, and it would be devastating. Then I would be up a swarm and a Pegasus if both of his Pegasus died. Of course, now the cap is 115 or 125, so you can't kill a Pegasus, a full max HP Pegasus with one Ray. But now, as you can see, I'm starting to make my own undead Pegasus. Of course, I'm one down, so it's not like the most ideal situation, but we do what we can. He'll probably pebble down soon. He does want to kind of close off the swarm or absorb the aura with the tree, and this is a really unique 60G kind of technique. Let me know, by the way, guys, if you're still watching. Yeah, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thanks so much for the support. But also let me know, would you guys like to see a 60G guide? Just with some tips, some basic, intermediate, advanced tips. I don't know if I want to make too long of a guide where I showcase all of them, but just kind of go over, I don't know, 10 of the best tips or 12, who knows. I think it would be a good idea for this channel to make a 60G guide, because I do have like a 10 random guide, and I just did that for fun. But I play a lot more 60G than 10 random, so. Anyway, my plan here was to make an undead Pegasus, and oh, the whole point was, so that whole segue was, a common principle that you'll see in 60G. Let's see, I have two swarms that are like, maybe they're over here. One way that you would kind of try to gain some momentum is you would separate your minions, your opponent's minions, from themselves. So let's say that like two swarms are over on this area to the left below the Pegasus. Harp would tree those in and then pebble to me. That way, yeah, I'm a few minions up, but those minions are trapped. They can't do anything. So that was just one strategy. You see swarms or Pegasus, and you try to isolate them from your opponent, basically. That's the best way to put it, I think. So he does pebble down, he kills my Pegasus, which is unfortunate. Now I'm down 2 Pegasus. Is this losing? If he gets to me, yeah, but we'll see if he can get to me. He's got to press. And I'm happy to stay where I am. He's able to shock shield the swarm. He doesn't get stunned because he protection shielded before that. If you protection shield after the aura or the swarm has been summoned, then you can go into it without being stunned. So there he traps me in with the Pegasus, and he actually just decides to kill the swarm. Not sure why he didn't drain it. Kind of a unique play. But he pebbles, it still works. And here I'm thinking, you know what? I can't give him more time to free the Pegasus, so I'm just going to bring out my most aggressive move possible, which I believe is Dark Knight. Yeah. So here, I'm thinking, okay, it's going to split the damage with the shock shield. It'll do 85, and he won't be able to kill my Dark Knight in one hit. He does get the swarm down though, which I might have overlooked. But honestly, even then, this is the best shot that I think I have to winning the game, or just prolonging the game even. Not even winning the game, because I'm super losing right here. So he goes for the shock bomb and just bounces off to the left a little bit. But the Dark Knight stays alive. So what I'm going to do here is BFTP, elevator the Dark Knight over, basically put him on the left and then charge straight up. And I'm thinking, you know what, that's my only chance. It's going to deprod him. Yeah, he's still going to be up 2 Pegasus. Maybe he falls. Like, I'm at this point seeing that, oh, okay, so his shock shield's going to be up, so he's going to kill the Dark Knight after I charge. So why not get the charge off? It's like my best play possible. I'm going to get quite a bit of damage off here. And at this point I do see that after I charge, the Dark Knight will die because he has his shock shield up. So that's about all I see at this point. But I'm going to try for this charge here. Straight up. Yeah, I go directly under him. And then he goes into the water. And oh my gosh, I was laughing so hard about this, especially because look at his teleport. Like, he has absolutely no idea that this is a potential move, and I didn't see the sink, but I saw that the Dark Knight would die and he would fall. But I didn't know that the bounce would sink him into the water. But the funny thing is his response here. He teleports directly onto his undead Pegasus immediately, taking no time whatsoever. And you think, okay, this is kind of a meme, but this is actually hilarious because he was thinking, oh, next turn I'm going to click my Pegasus to use it to move. I'm just going to click it immediately so that I can move immediately, you know, use as little time as possible to idle, and I'm just going to go immediate so that I can get a lot of movement done. He didn't see the sync at all before this turn, so he's thinking, I can spam. It's safe to just spam click this Pegasus right here. No worries. It's not dangerous whatsoever. But because he was sunk, he's spam clicking the Pegasus, and he teleports onto it. I don't know if, like, you can't teleport into your Pegasus, but maybe he was clicking, like, up here. I don't know what exactly happened, but it was wild. Harp, you're gonna probably end up seeing this video. You can comment when you see this, but I think it was just a really hilarious sequence of events because not only did I get the charge and this is epic sync, but then he teleports in immediately, taking literally 0 seconds of time. And then he just like said, oh, fuck me, I just teleported in thinking that I was going to click on my Pegasus and start moving. So, yeah, that happened. So of course Shock Shield here and go for a flash. I actually get the Swarm Tick too, which is kind of nice. Is there a way to flash that without getting the tick to deflight? Probably not. If there was, then I would just win right here. But since there's not, and it's his swarm at the top, I'm still down 3 minions, and I have my flight down. So you think, oh, you know, Koei Val just did this epic play. Is it game over? Well, I wish. But now I just have to go for some sort of elevator. I could have summoned a spirit there and kind of put some pressure on him, because then I threaten the elevator down. But I decided to go with Shock Shield, which is probably suboptimal. Spirit or Swarm is better. Although, he could just drain the Spirit or Swarm with the Pegasus. So, kind of tricky. Kind of tricky. Another candidate move would be to maybe tree off the Pegasi here. So just put a tree right where I ping, and so that the Pegasus can't go over to the left. But I decide to Shock Shield, and we'll see kind of how I get out of this. If I get out of this. It looks really grim actually right here. I was pretty depressed because I was thinking, no, I just made this epic play and I'm just going to lose the game. Fuck. But here I do decide to actually tree off the Pegasus. And now they're trapped in there. He can't really do a ton of damage to me every turn, but he'll chip me down slowly, so I have to come up with a plan to counteract that. At this point I'm thinking, okay, I can always teleport over that tree, and now might be a good time to do that. And then Shock Shield will kill his swarm next turn. So just in time to make that play. I think it's clutch. If I don't do it, I lose. Because then he just Shock Shields me, Shock Bombs, or does whatever, right? So that helps him get over, but not necessarily his Pegasus, so I saw that. Oh, excuse me. I'm kind of tired. Not a big deal. But here I'm still thinking, okay, I can kill his Pegasus, or not kill his Pegasus, kill his Swarm with my Shock Shield, and I don't know really what he can do. Okay, that I didn't really see. Pretty tragic. I was thinking, okay, he's going to go for a Shock Bomb. If he goes for a Shock Bomb there, I think he wins. Although it's a little risky. It might bounce off, and then in that case he just loses. Because then I respond with Shock Shielding his Swarm and Shock Bombing himself. And then he'd be dead, right? 58 plus 35, 68, 78. He'd be almost dead. So, I kill his Swarm, which is awesome. Now I'm effectively down a Pegasus, because these Pegasus over here are doing nothing. Again, that's a play that I was telling you guys about earlier. You isolate your opponent's minions away from you, and they become pretty much dead slots. So I bring out the Swarm, and he actually goes over here and he teleports away. The reason he does is because he actually stacked himself with the Swarm. Now, you can stack yourself if you are under a minion and the minion takes the aura damage. It's totally possible that a stack can occur. Yeah, he didn't hit himself with the swarm, but he hit the minion on top with the swarm, and that kind of, you know, that does the damage. You can see that he's stunned. He's got the little, you know, the birds over his head. So he stunned himself because he was under that Pegasus, and that triggers kind of the stacking mechanic. And there, yeah, that puts him in a tough spot, because if he's able to maybe absorb the swarm with the Pegasus and somehow kill my swarm and then, I don't know, do some damage to me or absorb my shock shield somehow with the tree, then it's a different game. Oh, excuse me, it's a different game. So he unfortunately stacks himself and has to teleport away. My shock shield is up, but he teleported in that way so that if my shock shield wasn't up, or wasn't gone, then I could teleport under him and fly him off the map. I actually had abduction here too, but I didn't use it very effectively. And now, of course, he's teleported back to his minions. He's 2 minions up over there, so he's not in a hugely precarious situation, although he is low on health. But he is going to come up here to shock shield me. Can't really do too much about the swarm. And I tried to, like I said, abduct that Pegasus, but it didn't quite work. Maybe I would have had to do it from like there instead, but I don't know. So let's go back, move the camera back to see what Harp's doing. And he's just gonna prot. Yeah, he's got to get some health back, right, so that he's not lethal with the shock bomb. And here I'm just gonna chip away at the Pegasus. Storm Shield is a good option here, I think. I decide to tree him down there so that he doesn't have a lot of movement. He's just gonna heal, which is fine. I can see a scenario where I try to get this Pegasus undead, gain some top control back, because his Pegasus over there on the left are still trapped. So that's kind of my long-term plan. If I don't have a swarm up yet, Shock Shield is a good move here. So I decide to do that. And he really can't protect his Pegasus. He could drain it and kill it, which is a possible option. Okay, that's another option. Man, yawning a lot today. That's another option because it absorbs the swarm aura. And now let's see if I can get that swarm under there. Okay, so the tree actually dies, which is great for me because I get a free Pegasus. The reason it dies is basically it takes 15 damage, 15 health down a turn. It starts with 75 health, and I had the shock shield on it twice. It took 15 passive from one turn going by, and also 15 from the flash. And 30 plus 50 is 80, so it died. Now I have a undead Pegasus, and I'm starting to feel good. Not great, because I'm, again, technically still down pretty much 2 full health Pegasus. Because my Pegasus is only 25 HP, that's pretty much nothing. So, he is controlled though on the side of the map there, so I have that going for me. He's trying to maneuver down below the aura without getting hit by it, but he does get hit by it. I consider that a win, because any sort of small increment of damage that he takes will be pretty instrumental to any chance of winning that I have. So here I go for the shock shield, and I'm going to probably block this area from block Harp from accessing that area with the Pegasus, and then I want to just try to limit the movement of the Pegasus here, summon my own, because if I let him come up with the Pegasus, then he will trap me with both of them and himself probably, or maybe not and himself, but at least trap me with both of them to absorb my shield, because his prots are kind of low, right? So maybe trapping with himself isn't the best idea, but I'm still going to try to limit the movement of the Pegasus, chip with Aura, so it looks like my mix is Abduction plus Aura plus no tower. And he's going to hit me with the Shock Shield and then maybe retreat somehow? Can he retreat? Yeah, he can. Okay, so he has to move his Pegasus over and then maybe prop back up, but I think that's on cooldown. That's not. Okay, so he does prop back up, which is a good play. Here I'm just going to keep healing up my Pegasus, keep trying to limit the movement of his Pegasus, and at this point I'm playing pretty much for a draw. It seems like it's hard to get damage off on him when he's got 75 prot, so I probably just need to Storm Spirit up again. Or Swarm. Yep, Swarm is a good play. Get some more chip damage off. Threaten the undead Pegasus. And he does choose to kill the Pegasus, which is a good play. Take the Swarm as well. So next turn, maybe it'll die? I don't know. Well, it won't die next turn, but he's saying that I can take it with one of my Swarms, or if I trap it somehow, then with one of the undead Pegasus, then it will die eventually, because the undead Pegasus aura will kill it. So here, I'm just going for an absolute ridiculous play. I absorb the Swarm aura, BFTP out, and I'm thinking I'm gonna Shock Bomb stuff this guy off the map. Look at this insane greedy play. And then I just fly off the map, and you know, paradoxically this is actually like a really interesting move. Because as I was saying, I neutralized all his prots, and now he's stuck down there. He's got no flight. I've still got a Swarm and an undead Pegasus. So all I do is I build back a prot and then I go over there. Like, it's kind of a really interesting play that I made. It might actually have won me the game. It might actually win me the game. But at this point I had like no option. I was like, you know what? Let me just go for this insane, reckless looking play that, I don't know, on paper it just looks stupid. It's like, why would you Shock Bomb stuff yourself? Of course I wanted to try and sink him, but it didn't quite work. He went upward instead of out to the left. And I went out to the left and sank myself. So it just looks so stupid. Like, what the fuck you doing, co-eval? But, you know, I'm co-eval. I make these types of plays. You know? I am just always trying to be clutch in these endgame moments, right? So, sometimes I do make those big plays and I just lose, you know? But that's just a play style thing, you know? Some players are a bit more conservative. Some go for the big ticket risky plays and stuff like that. So here you just not shock shields, towers, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna rush him. His flight is down, and I'm up health. He does kill my Swarm, which is not great, right? But he can't take me with his Swarm. He can't really. I mean, he could maybe Shock Bomb stick me here. Now that we've seen that video with Zartak, you probably are saying, why doesn't he just Shock Bomb? To lob a Shock Bomb. Harp is not a risky player like that. He wouldn't go for a play of that, like of that nature, where he's kind of gambling, and hasn't practiced that lob that much either, actually at all. So he decides to come back down to the side, and here I'm thinking, you know what? Why not follow up this ballsy play that I just made with the Shock Bomb Suicide, and just pebble down with precision. And you notice I get close to the bottom of the map so that the pebbles are high velocity, right? They don't lose their velocity. Like when they're in the air for longer, they're not going to hit the terrain with as much force, and so they're not going to go down as far into the map. At least this is my theory when I'm making this move. And so I think I'm doing something smart by going closer to the terrain and trying to get the most force out of these pebbles as I can to sink him. Boom! Let's go, baby! And he just shock shielded, which means he's got no shock shield up. His flight is probably down. If not, he might have it back next turn. but that's still okay because he's down to now 83 health. And what can I do? I'll give you guys a minute to see what's the best move here. I have one BFTP left. I'm going to pause this. What do you think I'm about to do? Alrighty, let's take a look. Yeah, just BFTP Shock Bomb, get him down to 3 health. What's he gonna do at this point? He's got nothing. Tower's down, and he resigns. So, what an absolutely insane game. Able to get that Dark Knight charge. In hindsight, he doesn't need to come down to me. He can just stay up, say, I've got 2 Undead Pegasus, you can stay down there all you want. If we eventually draw, it's a draw, sure, it's whatever. But you're not winning this game if I don't allow you to come up and summon a Dark Knight on me, or, you know, get free and go to the side. So, in hindsight, that's one thing that he could have done to win or prolong the game. But he gave me that chance with the Dark Knight. I got an epic charge off with the bounce into the water, and then a number of clutch plays, that BFTP, the Shock Shield, Shock Bomb, Suicide, which actually turned out to be in my favor. It looks, again, ridiculous. And then, of course, the Pebble Sink, and then the final Shock Bomb to 3 health. So a lot of awesome plays here. Clutch Fall strikes again, and we are in business. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you thought some of these plays were super awesome and you enjoyed seeing pure, unadulterated clutch juice in action. Have a great day. Peace out.